we're back at the major project, and it's a major muddy mess, as expected. But the architect and engineer have gotten us the changes, so we're gonna dig out the game room area. And then when it dries out, we'll have to do some shovel work in the footings and get this thing poured. Had to bring out the big machine today. Chris needed me. The taco's on some project somewhere. Brought out the big guns. So right now we're ciphering and figuring. We're gonna have to respray. What are you doing?
Screwing off on your time.
Looks like the only lines that stayed are the ones we don't need anymore.
That's pretty much, that would be accurate.
All right.
It went from a slab to a crawl space, and now it's back to a slab.
Well, it was a hybrid to begin with.
A hybrid.
Because what were the piers for if it was a slab to begin with?
You're correct. So we had all these piers laid out.
Right. So this was going to be a crawl space, and then you were going to have to step down 4 steps to get to your bowling alley,
Correct.
which was stupid.
So now, so it changed to all being a crawl space, so everything would be even. Then realized how much work that was going to be for the bowling alley. So now we've put it back.
And the engineer made the call.
Yeah. 3 weeks later,
Here we are.
we've had 12 inches of rain.
Yeah.
But
Well, good thing we have employees to do digging.
that is correct. So we've got a lot of work to do today. And
What are you doing, Chris?
old Mr. Billy Bob,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
what are you doing?
I mean,
The good thing is you're wearing boots today, so that's a good start.
huh? See? You thought I didn't come prepared? Look at that. We're ready.
I mean, he's super prepared.
Well, that's because, he's an emergency guy. He understands.
I do keep a pair of those in the truck. I just prefer not to put them on because then I'm expected to do things I don't want to have to do.
Smart. No, that's what we got Tater for. Well, as you can see, it's another Billy Bob adventure. Look, I bought a machine for Let's Dig.
All right, remember do a 180 right there on the trailer.
Yeah, and I won't pick up the bucket, so I have to make sure I take out the fender.
Well, we laid everything out. So here's the little tip from the day. Whenever you have your property staked by your surveyors, have them do an elevation setting too. It's not standard. I mean, I don't know what they would charge, but it's gonna be nothing. But get an elevation, do your elevations so that you can provide those to your engineer and architect as well, so that instead of it saying, you know, steps to be figured out on site or this on site or whatever that crap, you can go ahead and actually have you can be closer. Because what they did is they figured for crawl space, steps down to the bowling alley, but they didn't even put steps on the plans. So it was a big surprise to the client when I said, hey, by the way, you know you're gonna have steps down to this bowling alley. So that's where we are with this. All that's marked out. Chris is gonna dig out the bowling alley area, and the rest of it is footings. So we'll be ready for that. We're gonna let it dry out a few days. We'll shovel out anything we need to in the footings, put the rebar in, and get inspected, and finally pour some concrete and get moving on this project, which would be wonderful. I'll put the little KUBOTA to work, let Chris do his thing, Chris and Tyler. We'll be back out tomorrow. Now James is out on vacation, so it's up to Tater and I to clean these out, which sucks, but it is what it is. I brought the little pump too. They drain pretty well, but some of the spots where they don't, drain those out so they can dry up. Nothing more disappointing than digging and having it all clean and ready to go, and then run into delays. But it's a problem easily overcome, just a little bit of elbow grease. Let me tell you, this building footprint is massive. I mean, to give you an idea, my house would stop about here. So he's got all that. Yeah, this is where we'll set the pump up first. Go ahead and pump these pier pools right now. We'll pump those out. Actually, these aren't piers. These are the little spots between the garage doors. It's a 5-car garage. I'm walking in the garage from way down there. Huge garage. Chris did good work as usual. Chris and Tyler, you saw my KUBOTA was put to work. Good thing I picked that up, huh? Plan this week is to get these ready, including putting the rebar and everything in. They're coming out today to inspect for our power, so we have juice out here. Try and pour towards the end of the week would be great before any more bad weather comes in. So over here is the game building. This is the bowling alley area. So this is dug down because in the end we have to have a depression that's 13'6" wide and pretty much the length of the building. It's 85 feet, I think. So this will all be a slab. Well, my little transfer pump is doing a great job. So it's already pumped out 2 of those. So another one, but I went to Home Depot, also known as Homey Depot, to get a few things. Chains, I'm gonna have a toolbox out here soon. We've got cameras and stuff up, but still makes sense, you know, changing stuff up. And I need another pump at the house because I'm gonna pump the pools out. So I went ahead and got a pretty good one instead of just cheaping out. So one of the things that has to happen is you got that, right? And that goes to 2-inch. Well, that's smooth. And then the hose I'm using is NPT. I'm sure somewhere they sell it, but they don't at our Home Depot. That would be having NPT on one side and slip fitting on the other. So what I do is I buy one of each and then I just transfer it, and then I got 2 of what I want. Then as long as that makes it back to the house and into my box in my plumbing section, I'll have a spare. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Ta-da. Okay. So see, that's a union. So you take it apart, right? Which is great for being able to change up. So this is slip on both sides. So I take that apart. And I go over here to this one. Ta-da. And then put that on that one. And now NPT on one side, slip on the other. So that'll be there. And I can put my little piece on the top. And I've got a spare. Now I'll just glue this all together. We're ready to go. So we got these. It's 83 degrees today. That'll all dry out and then we'll shovel out any loose. That little pump does all right. A little transfer pump, that's all it is. And that one, but I got that bigger pump. We're gonna set it up over there and then go to the bowling alley with it. Well, let's see if my contraption works. Not for those. That's already too low. That'll have to come out with a little transfer pump because that's not gonna do nothing, especially when I do that. All right, let's do attempt number 2. That's what I changed up to, is back to a slip. And then have the rest of our pipe and then a 90 elbow. Just wasn't thinking that, you know, this is heavy duty hose and all, which is great, but it's too flimsy to have it pointing straight up. Probably the full length of the pipe, because sometimes, you know, we're down in the trench pretty far. So anyway, be up that. Let's do it. See the line, that's how much it took it down. So we'll see how much that dries between today and rest of today and tomorrow. And then probably have to take the little pump and get the rest of it out so it can get good and dry. And then anything that's not solid, we will have to shovel out. Tons of fun, let me tell you. Unfortunately, that's how it is sometimes. And we'll get through it and deal with it. Get concrete poured and come on out by the ground, and this will be a distant memory.
Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead.
Really nice weather right now, so we're going to take advantage and get the footings poured at Major. It's going to be a 90+ yard footing pour. It's massive. So we're taking the Mud Demon. Well, that's loaded. The machine's, I mean, it's not sitting at the back. Motor's heavy though, so we'll see how it pulls. This is, I mean, my bucket's pretty large. This is probably, the machine itself is probably 6 inches further back than where I usually pull it. This obviously, the Mud Demon obviously weighs more than the bucket. So I'll report on how it pulled when we get there. Still have to chain it down. Day before concrete. Josh is back. Tater over there. Gene, Casey, Juan, a couple more guys coming, plus Quincy. Yeah, getting ready. Footings are dry. Look at all that work, man. It was crazy. They're cutting the last few pieces of bar we need. Then Josh and Tater are bending the rest of the corners we need, corner bar. Everybody's busy, getting ready. It's gonna be a big pour tomorrow, 90+ yards. To do this behemoth. So part of the prep work is I'm gonna grab the Mud Demon and move it over there. The trucks for the Mud Demon will just have to come around. That way we're out of the way of the areas they're gonna be able to tailgate. Yes, it's gonna be a hybrid pour. Part Mud Demon pump, part tailgate. So the Mud Demon's gonna take care of the areas that we can't get to with the tailgate. We're gonna knock this thing out. course, the other awesome thing about this is that if I need to move it, then I just pick it up and move it if we're in the way. I mean, it's simple, it's attached right there. Good to go. Let's get it unhooked so I can go grab a couple more things. Hey look, James finally made it. And Mike. Quincy brought the side-by-side because the project is so large that we literally save a ton of time taking things from one side to the other. Give you an idea of the scope of this thing, it's twice as wide as my house. All right. So you saw us pump with the Mud Demon at my place. That was with 2.5-inch hose. So now we're bringing out the big boy, the 3-inch. So Josh and Q are loading that in the side-by-side. The hose was on a pallet, which made it easy to move. But when I brought it, it was just in the back of the truck, and I didn't have anything yet to pull it out with. So yeah, here we are. Ooh. Stuff got knocked in here. All right. So what we need to pump is going to be the internal footings, like where Gene's standing, where the piers go. There's 57 piers, and they were like 1 foot 4 space in between them. So we're pouring them as solid footings and setting the piers where we need to. So we're going to go ahead and lay the hose out today, get that ready. So tomorrow, trucks come around, they're tailgating. We told them 30-minute spacing, but we all know what's going to happen. They're going to pile up on us. And when they do, we'll kick the truck over here to the Mud Demon and start pumping out so we can have 2 crews working. 1 crew on the pump, 1 crew on the tailgating. Get my expert on film since you did it. Okay.
Well, Matt did it.
I know, but you watched.
So we'll set this up pointing straight up to start, and then we can pour our primer in, and then we'll hook the hose onto that.
We'll turn it and then hook the hose to it. Right.
And then it'll be pointing however far it goes.
Then we just have to get it primed.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
Once the prime is out of the hopper, then we start pouring concrete.
Yeah, because we can't prime it till the concrete truck's here.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we had enough to pre-prime, but that would take too much. So then yeah, the concrete truck gets here, and then this is just like any other pump, so they know what to do. Keep the hopper full and all that stuff. Where's the remote? We need to make sure it's charged. It's another bright, beautiful morning. Yeah.
Get it.
Get it.
It's early. We got a couple little things to finish up, not much, just some bulkheads and a few things to put in. Inspector's coming at 8. And then we're starting to pour, hopefully, at 9:30. Overview of the project. Really get a sense of the scale of this deal.
Slide this over.
All right.
Flip this up.
Yeah, it looked definitely like a 2-man job.
It can be.
He said it can be.
There you go.
All right. Concrete is on site.
Bondo would say, mud has arrived. That's good. Just hit it, burp, burp, and maybe hit the other side, burp, burp.
A little more wet.
There you go. That's good. Just let it get so it'll consolidate around the bar. All right. We recording? Yeah. All right. We mix up our primer. Just some type N cement and water. For pancake consistency. Who'd you put on the
Michael.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Grab more. Yeah.
What's this kind of like lubes the pipe too?
Yeah. Yeah. Lubes it up and
Keeps it from drying inside it.
yeah. Primes it up. Get the pump prime. That is truck number, what's that, truck 8?
Yeah.
Truck number 8. This thing is eating up concrete like a cookie monster eats cookies. It's chomping away. Most of this done, they're coming across the front and then all around the bowling alleys left and some over in there. We pumped out the centers with the mud demon, got that done. So just there we go. So this is truck 8, and I originally started with the 90 plus, which means that you're taking 90 yards, but you might need more. So I already ordered another one. So
It may be a little wetter.
now we're at 100 plus.